Metalheads listen to metal, punks listen to punk, and goths listen to... So there's been a sliver of drama going around in the YouTube goth community. As per usual with the online scene, there are people debating and having arguments over certain aspects of the subculture. This week's new topic is, can you still be goth if you don't listen to goth music? The fact that this question is still being brought up almost 4 decades into the life of the goth subculture shows that there's still a lot of misconceptions about what goth actually is all about. With dark fashion and black lipstick all the rave in mainstream stores today, I'm not really that surprised that the actual definition of goth is sort of becoming very muddied. So before I go any further, please have it be known that I am not a final authority on gothness. I am simply a member of the subculture with my concerns and my own opinions, so yeah, let us begin and delve into this topic. Goth has always been a music-based subculture. From post-punk came the mysterious and dark sound of goth that we can all relate to and that we all love. I mean, sure, most of us also like to wear black and live a darker lifestyle, but what about people like Peter Murphy, or Andrew Eldritch, or Robert Smith, or even Susie Sue? They're all goth icons, but they live their lives just like anyone else. Some of them even reject the goth label. However, all these people contributed to the goth scene more than any black-clad, white, face-painted teen ever has. Without these musicians, goth never would have matured into what it became in the late 80s and the early 90s. We wouldn't have that eerie, emotional, dark, and reverb sound that we all love. So where am I getting with this? The music and artists who contribute to the music scene are what brought people together in the early days. Although I'm too young to have experienced goth in its glory years, from what I've heard, there was nothing more exciting to have experienced a room full of young adults and teens who could bond with one another over love for this, well, at the time, newer and darker style of music. Maybe I'm completely wrong in my thinking, but to me, goth has never really been a feeling or just something deep in my heart or something like that. To me, being goth has always been about supporting a music scene that I enjoy and am absolutely passionate about. For myself, there's nothing better than seeing an underground goth artist rise to popularity because of support from the scene, people buying and sharing their music. It's all just a lot of fun. I even create my own goth music every once in a while. I've gone as far as releasing a darkwave EP. It's just all really fun to me. I get more joy out of listening to this type of music and creating this type of music than almost any other thing that I do in my life. Goth music is an art, and the fashion that I wear is an extension of this art. It's almost in a way like a flag, if that makes any sense. I can use it to sort of display an allegiance to the music that I love. Someone on the street should see someone dressed like me and be like, hey, that person likes goth rock, or post-punk, or death rock, or darkwave, whatever it may be. The same goes for a metalhead who would grow out his hair or grow out his beard and wear a battle jacket. They would assume that he likes metal. The same goes for a punk. They could have a neon mohawk, ripped clothes, giant boots, and a lot of piercings. The same goes for them. Someone would assume that they like punk music. Like I said, it's always been about having fun. The music has always been creative, dark, and sometimes even theatrical, just like how a lot of goths like to dress. We spend time doing what we do because it's fun. We listen to the music because it's fun. By supporting the music and its creators, we're subsequently supporting art that inspires us to be creative ourselves, whether it be DIY, making our own music, doing art, whatever it may be, whatever you're into. Anyway, I'm starting to lose my train of thought, so let's get back to the topic of the concept or the definition of goth being muddied. I feel like in a lot of cases where people have to go to others to ask if they themselves are goth, there lies a problem. In the internet age, it's not very hard to figure out that goth is a music-based subculture. With about 2 to 3 minutes of research, one could find a list of the most popular goth bands, figure out that goth is a music-based subculture, and find out a lot more. They could figure out what distinguishes goth from other subcultures, and hint hint, it's the music. I find that a lot of people just want to use the goth label because it's very easy to just slap onto things. These people see goth as synonymous with being dark, and these two things are not necessarily the same. That's really what I want people to start seeing. There's nothing wrong with being darkly inclined or being of a gothic. I use that term very loosely because I sort of mean more of the macabre, eerie and romantic sort of old feel from like the movies and literature. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with being gothically inclined or darkly inclined. But to be goth, though, and not darkly inclined or gothically inclined, is something else, and that's because of the music. Most goths are part of the music subculture, and they're naturally darkly inclined. In most cases, someone who's not already naturally darkly inclined wouldn't even be drawn to the music to begin with. However, there are people who don't like the fashion and don't live a necessarily openly dark lifestyle, yet they still listen to post-punk or darkwave or gothic rock or whatever goth genre, there's many, and to me, those people are 100% goth. So to just summarize briefly, goth is not a feeling, it is a music genre and a label for the fans of that music. Being darkly inclined would be the personality trait or the sort of innate thing that you feel inside of you because it is your personality. Goth itself, on the other hand, is being a fan of the music. There are many other labels that exist for people who have this natural dark inclination. Darkly inclined, gothically inclined, alternative, and even just plain old dark. There's no reason to want to squeeze yourself into the goth label unless you enjoy listening and supporting the music within the subculture. The goth label is very specific, and instead of trying to slap it onto everything, why don't we try to use these other terms that are already readily available? Anyway, metalheads listen to metal, punks listen to punk, and goths listen to goth. And because of those who actually still care and are a part of the subculture, the music is not going anywhere. And just as a reminder before I approach the end of this video, you can be a goth or a metalhead or a punk and listen to music outside of your subculture. There's nothing wrong with that. I listen to a lot of metal, I listen to reggae, I listen to French house, I listen to a very wide range of genres. Goth happens to be one of my favorites. There are no rules for liking other genres on top of liking goth. You're still goth as long as you listen to and enjoy the music and enjoy supporting the scene. So if you don't agree with all the things I have to say in this video, then I don't really care at this point. I'm not saying anything malicious, I'm not trying to attack anyone, I'm not trying to be one of those holier-than-thou elitists saying that I'm gothier than everyone else because I listen to goth. No, that's just a requirement for being goth. That's all it is. I'm simply stating some facts about the goth subculture, and if you don't like that, then oh well, I guess. Some of these bands mean so much to me, and a lot of their music has had direct impact on my life. So I'll be damned if I don't do everything in my power to keep this genre going. I want future goths to experience the passion, darkness, and fun that we all do. Like Angela Benedict said, maybe our videos won't change anything or help keep the true meaning of goth alive, but at least we aren't contributing to the problem.